If you're having trouble with some of these, getting around corners and doing all that sort of stuff, the easiest way to start off is just can I take some work of the musculotendinous unit, right? So whether it's the patellofemoral joint, patellar tendon, fat pad, muscle tear, if we do some of the work just by going straight down, it means we're going to resist them collapsing into flexion. So we're going to reduce the load absorption requirements of that whole system. So we take load off a heap of structures. You can then get more specific depending on what you find is going on. But if it's a muscle tear, we bring in our boxing sort of idea up here, okay, to unload that soft tissue. If it's a fat pad or a patellar tendon, we might bring our boxing in down around there. If it's Osgood slatters, we might bring our boxing down a little bit lower onto the tibial tuberosity and box up around where they're sore there, okay? I'm trying to just stay out of the way here of the camera. So we can just come through here. This was a double layer that was already made up, so we'll just use that. Depending again on the size of the person, what they're going to do in it and all that sort of thing. Do you need a double layer? Do you need a single layer? It really just depends on what you find's going on, what they're going to do in it. But if they're big guys, jumping sports, all that sort of thing, you're going to want a bit more force, huh? I usually start, if they are a muscle tear, make sure you start well above the tear. Okay, and then you could anchor there. You could box all of this up, okay, and then stick down. You create like a sort of a second anchor, but you start to get all this pulling in of all that soft tissue again. You can then run straight down over the patella like you do with like your quads do basically, to use the patella as a pulley to increase the force generation. Okay. Make sure you don't just finish here. You want to have a nice long lever arm again and leave yourself a nice anchor at this end. Okay, so don't just finish on your tibial tuberosity, bring it a bit further down, at least sort of half shin. Then I would normally cover that with a wide one again in those contact type sports, particularly where they're going to get pulled at, trying to tackle people, you know, people being tackled and all that sort of thing. Okay, and we can just start again at the top. So this is what the situation where you can do one on top of the other on the body, but it's only because the wide one going over a narrow one is going to attach to skin all the way around. Okay, I wouldn't put this one and then another one of the same width over the top because it's going to shear off itself. This way it's going to lock to skin all the way around, so it's fine. Okay. We can anchor there. We could box up again if you wanted to increase that. Otherwise, just lay that down and then bring this all the way down. And then it should finish, oops, I'm a bit short. It should finish on skin as well at the other end. Okay. Now, if you're short, don't just squeeze that end out, squeeze enough length out of it, because that's when you are going to get blisters. If you find overall you're a little bit short, the best thing is to take it right back off and get a little bit of extra stretch over the whole thing, rather than, and then still leave yourself a nice anchor point, okay, like that. That's going to be far less likely to give you a reaction, okay.